Somit dann herzlich willkommen wieder zurück zu eurem Folie von Folies Game aus zu einer neuen Folge Let's Play VampYr Part 6. Üble Nachrede, der rote Ströme. So, letzten Part sind wir ja, ich habe das Spiel schon mal, beziehungsweise in diesem Part versucht zu starten und das hält komischerweise bei mir immer an. Was mich sehr, sehr traurig stimmt. Deswegen muss ich es nochmal neu laden. Entweder bin ich da meistens zu schnell oder whatever, I don't know. Ich hoffe mal und gucke mal, dass wir es langsam angehen werden, beziehungsweise so, dass das Spiel nicht hängen bleibt. Und auf jeden Fall herzliche Grüße erstmal an euch raus, an alle Vampir und Vampirinnen und alle, die sonst noch meinen Kanal noch mögen. Wenn ja, wenn ihr noch mehr sehen wollt, einfach mal auf dem Kanal rumschnüffeln. Vielleicht hier und da mal ein Like hinterlassen, vielleicht sogar ein Abo. Wir kennen das natürlich auch auf Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. Und wie gesagt, hier auf YouTube und am selbigen Namen Folies Game aus. Das ist unser nächstes Ziel auf jeden Fall. Triff dich mit Edgar Swansea im Krankenhaus. Da müssen wir auf jeden Fall hin. Den müssen wir erreichen. Ich weiß bloß allerdings nicht, was der geschickteste Weg wäre, der direkte oder nicht direkte. Da wir ja mittlerweile auf Level 15 sind. Und die Gegner immer stärker werden. So, eigentlich müssten wir uns jetzt... Ja, ich weiß nicht, ob das so rum vielleicht klarer wäre. Ja, keinen Weg durch.
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. It's locked.
Das hatte ich mir schon fast gedacht.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It's a shame nobody chose to take it on after she died. We need that down here.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Ben
You
der
don't have anywhere to
Landstreicher.
go. No family that would welcome you.
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money. Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Yes, you did. And it was cowardly and inexcusable.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Yes, you did. And it was cowardly and inexcusable.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Have you heard anything about Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
What I'd like to know is, what type of cunt would murder a nurse? Fucking piece of shit.
Goodbye, young man. It's locked, all right.
Schade, es führt wirklich kein Weg dran vorbei. Sag mal. Die ist so schwer zu töten.
It's locked.
Das hatte ich mir schon wieder fast gedacht, dass das wieder so ist.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Die,
Och, schreck mich doch nicht so.
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Schluss mit den Rätseln. Warum ich? Wer bist du?
Tell me what you are.
I am the whitened bones and blackened soil. The land made blood coursing through thy veins.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Ich denke, es kostet nichts. Die Folgen der Nacht.
It's locked, all right.
All right.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Kann man dir das nicht irgendwie geben?
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but well, maybe it was him.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Jonathan, my sincere condolences for your loss.
Your kindness is much appreciated, my lady.
Is there anything you require?
I spied my mother at the funeral. Have you ever revealed yourself to a member of your family?
No, Jonathan. And I'd advise you even from thinking about it.
Are we then condemned to lie to those we love?
We are creatures of deception, my friend. But this is more for their sake than ours.
But what if I was close to someone and wished to tell them the truth?
Fear, loathing, disgust. And then they will plead to be turned. They will see it as salvation. Then there's the risk of gaining the attention of vampire hunters.
Are we condemned to attend the funerals of all we love?
Dying is the final act of life, Jonathan. Present company excluded. Accepted.
Goodbye, my lady. Until we meet again.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody's as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reid.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Was braucht er nochmal? Erschöpfung.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days. And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult. Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow. As for me, what an idiot.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Was fehlt dem nochmal? Erschöpfung. Da werden wir ihm mal gegen Erschöpfung irgendwas geben, hä?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reid.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reid? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Oh, sweet girl. reads me like a book. Never could keep anything from her.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reid. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here
Der ist
to
nicht
protect
gerade
our
sehr nett.
patients.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reid, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reid, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that?
So ein Grünschnabel,
I served in the
Kleiber
war
drauf.
just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
You always knew it was to calm the child. Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reid. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reid.
Schleimer.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reid. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reid. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true.
Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
It's here again.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right
Das war ja
off.
klar, eine German
But they still call
grenade.
me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. Daily routine.
It's here again.
this horrifying epidemic.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reid, any good news to share?
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reid. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets. I cannot enter.
So, gehen wir mal zur Hauptmission über wieder.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, the nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the guard.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
Erst muss ich gucken, ob er noch so Neuigkeiten, irgendwas Neues für mich hat, ja. Sieht schlecht aus, ne?
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
Jonathan, please. I can't rely on anyone else. And this concerns you as it involves vampires. Someone has taken advantage of our more liberal tendencies here.
In what way?
Jonathan, I may turn my head when you or her ladyship indulge, But I will not allow this place to become a nest for street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this. Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital. That's Pembroke nowadays.
This is an impressive knife. There's a name engraved on the neck. Clay. What kind of man puts his name on a knife?
Turn around, sir. It's an leech! Spotted! Watch out, boys!
Na, ich muss darüber auf jeden Fall. Sandy, Hallöchen, Hallöchen. Oh, you are fine, not quite streaming. Ja, ich bin immer noch als Vampir unterwegs. Grüß dich, Chris. Oder wieder mal. Boah. So. Geradeaus und dann links, wenn es überhaupt geht. Weil ich meine, hier waren wir noch gar nicht. Da ist zwar ein Bötchen unten. Ich glaube kaum, dass wir da unten lang gehen können. So, Schrauben habe ich schon mal genug. Ein paar Münzen. Uiuiui. Das war aber jetzt eine knappe Kiste. unbedingt wieder Blut, also frisches Blut. Kein angekratztes. Nur der eine.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read
Text
this.
in Blindenschrift. Das war noch der Zug. Ich dachte, es kam schon jemand von hinten. Dann müssen wir das später lesen. Wem haben wir denn da?
Are you all right, sir? What are you doing in a place like this?
I'm not sure that's any of your business.
I hope you realize that staying here will put your life at great risk.
Pah! I'm not afraid of these guards of Priwen, or whatever these thugs call themselves. I can still kick some respect into those youngsters.
I wasn't specifically referring to them, but...
Was als nächstes Game ansteht? Cyberpunk 77 natürlich. Nee, ich habe noch ein bisschen was anderes. Layers of Fear habe ich noch.
I see. But as I said, your life is at risk if you stay here.
Da steht noch an.
And I'm not referring to the gangs either. You should leave, sir.
Well, this part of town used to be nicer, let's say. Perhaps you're right. This isn't the best way to save Andrew.
Mhm. Was steht noch an? Ich habe noch eins im Petto gehabt. Gut, Resident Evil, klar, die Teile. 4 noch zu Ende machen, 5 und 6 noch. Kommen auf jeden Fall noch. Was steht noch an? Die Evil mit Him 1 und 2 auf jeden Fall. Beziehungsweise 1 habe ich ja schon mal fertig gemacht. Das habe ich ja schon auf Twitch. Das kann ich ja auf YouTube hier leider nicht bringen. Warum auch immer. Das wird jedes Mal aus meinem Kanal rausgeschmissen. Aber die Evil 2 probiere ich aber mal, weil das halt irgendwie ein bisschen drunter geht. Danke für dein Like. Du haust dich aufs Ohr bis die Tage. Alles klar, mach's gut. Danke für dein Like. Zwar ein bisschen später reagiert. So. mutiger Brief. Liebe Mutter, was mir auch zustoßen mag, vergiss mir niemals, dass ich deinen Sohn nicht liebt. Und ich weiß, dass was mit meinem Arzt zu lieben, nicht mehr glücklich. Meine Art, mit meinem Arzt zu lieben, meine Art unglücklich, aber ich werde mich ändern. Ich würde diesen Stadtteil geboren und aufgezogen. Ich kann es nicht mehr länger ertragen, was unsere Nachbarschaft antut. Die Leute, die wir kennen. Vor kurzem habe ich eine furchtbare Entscheidung getroffen. Ich verschloss mich gegen den Tyrannen der Weingenen zu gewähren und weiß Tyrannei der wenigen zu erwehren. Ich weiß, wie werden Vergeltung üben, aber bin für mich alles gewappnet. Danke dir. Ich werde nicht länger knien, Mutter. Ich werde aufrichtig stehen, was es mich kostet. Auf bald, liebe Mutter Jack.
There is a name engraved under the blood on the back of the case. Jack Gillingham. Maybe I should return this watch to his family.
Are you sure you'll be able to reach the docks alone?
Young man, I am perfectly capable of defending myself.
Na denn. Viel Vergnügen. Okay, ich muss also doch einen anderen Weg gehen.
Idiot had to say first. You again. What do you want?
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Stimmt, hier war ich ja schon mal. Nee, nee. Wir müssen hier zurück. In diese Richtung da oben müssen wir, okay?
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reid. What do you want?
Die ist gesund, okay.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Pleasure, sir. It's been a while since we've seen any.
Mark my words.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom Watts about him.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Your sewer dog is
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
So you and your friends all feel in danger? No exceptions?
Tom's the only exception I've come across until now. But he's not like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colourful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory, then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Naja, ist doch zumindest mal eine Aussage.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Poor boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
So, gute Nachbarschaft, Ihre Arbeit. Ja, Ihre Arbeit.
How exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Okay.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour. But I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Goodbye, and good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
He didn't deserve this.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reid, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another. Should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can. You still working at this hour? That's what I call dedication.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Richtung ist schon mal richtig.
Are they stupid or something?
So few clients. The epidemic, no one dares go us.
Another disgusting ghoul did it, don't you think?
I don't think so. The ruins are clean and it's methodical.
The freaking vampire did.
I can't say, but whatever it is.
Seems like the guard of Prewin is on Shorthampton's trail too.
All of your bloody leeches need killing! Burn it, boy! Die, vermin!
Puh, das war aber knapp. Dies war aber arschknapp sogar.
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. It's locked, all right. This is despicable.
Get them! Bloody leech!
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked.
Das ist aber nicht schön, wenn es lockt. Da müssen wir mal hier lang gehen. Ich glaube, ich rieche noch zu wenig Schaden, dann kann das sein. Ich glaube schon.
It's locked, all right.
Sorry, sir, no offense.
Entweder laufen wir gerade wieder im Kreis oder ich habe irgendwo verpasst. It's locked.
I cannot enter.
Oder sowas halt. Ich hatte es schon mir gedacht. Wir müssen aber in die Richtung. Du kleiner Drecksack. Es wäre meine Richtung.
Not a safe place right now, sir. Best run along home, sir. The power of the Lord commands you.
Kill it!
Hm. 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 Also wollen wir aber bei dem ohne durchkommen. Wir müssen ja irgendwie darüber kommen.
Look lively! It's on to us!
So, jetzt sind wir einmal im Kreis gelaufen. Super.
Sorry, sir. No admittance.
I have this thirst for blood.
Best stay back, sir.
It's locked, all right. This is despicable.
Ich glaube schon wieder im Kreis. Ich glaube, ich spinne.
It's locked.
Ach, hör doch auf, Mann. Das lockt überhaupt nicht. Jedes Mal dasselbe. Letztes Mal schon. Wie komme ich hierher? Ich muss einen Weg dahin finden. Aber es gibt ja wieder keinen Weg.
For now, everything seems under control, more or less.
So läuft der Vampir.
Look at it!
Das hätte ich wohl sparen können. So ein Mist. Mann.
It's locked, all right.
Das ist aber ein Cheat.
I have this thirst for blood.
Die gleiche Sackgasse wie vorher auch.
This one's mine! Over there!
Dann schon wieder 3 Schritte zurück, anstatt vorwärts. Die pisst mich gerade schon an. Kannst du hier nicht drüber springen? missliche Lage. Darüber habe ich es ja schon probiert. Oben lang geht nicht übers Westend. Weil da gibt es ja gar keinen. Die einzige Brücke ist ja hier bei Nordox. Hinland ist ja schon an die Außengrenze. Da wird er ja nicht lang kommen können. Wenn wir hier lang kommen könnten. Noch bis hier oben lang. Hier oben ist ja auch schon wieder Schluss.
Foolish girl and her pre-principles.
This is despicable.
Die paar Schillinge kann man einkratzen, aber das war schon alles. Außerdem ist komplett die falsche Richtung eigentlich. Aber hieß es schon mal, viele Wege führen nach Rom. Ich höre zwar meine Freunde, aber ich sehe noch keinen. Ein Bleistab, immerhin. Oder muss ich in die Kanalisation wieder zurück? Southbreak. Vielleicht komme ich ja hier über die Boote irgendwo lang. Darüber nach Westox. Durch den Hintergrund. Mal gucken. Wir sind da von den 3.
Best turn around if I were you.
Ah.
Step away, sir. Steady, boy! We've got one of them! See them fancy clothes? This one's a top! Fuck, it's fast!
So, meins. Und der zittert immer noch. Weiß-blau. Den hat es auch zusammengeknickt. Mein lieber Scholli. So. Noch irgendwas hier? Da auf dem Boot war nichts mehr. Na doch. Key. Eine Flasche mit Alkohol. Immer her damit. Können wir alles hier brauchen. Oder? Boah, Schillinge. Ja, ein Herzschlag, aber ich glaube, der ist von draußen. Okay, einer, 2 Widerstände sind unten.
It's locked.
It's locked. Dies haben wir schon so oft gehört, dass es lockt.
It's locked.
It's locked. Ja, du schau her. Wo ist der Rekrut? Ah, da unten. Okay. Ist nur der eine, oder? Die Musik gefällt mir ja immer wieder. Weil man auf dem richtigen Weg ist. Doch 2. So. Mein Durst ist gestillt. Weißt du, ob das der richtige Weg ist?
I have this thirst for blood.
Aber ich schätze mal schon, weil es hier wieder nicht weitergeht, hä? Jawohl. Okay.
Steady, boys! Oh Christ!
Mann, dabei wollte ich doch von euch Blut haben. Okay, hat sich dann wohl erledigt. Ich hätte hier was versteckt an eurer Stelle. Das ist aber in die Richtung. Und hier kann er wieder nicht hochklettern, ne? Ach, Merde. Ah, das sieht schon anders aus. Wir laufen trotzdem im Kreis. Verflixt und zugenäht. Der hat ja wenigstens noch ein paar Schillinge bei sich gehabt. Ja. So, einmal schön im Kreis gelaufen. Ah, das können wir noch aus dem Part 1 vom Anfang. Der sieht auch ein bisschen mitgenommen aus. Aber ich glaube, das wird nur eine Sackgasse werden, oder? Die sieht mir ganz danach aus. Und dann sind wir schon eigentlich bei der Brücke wieder hier oben.
Better go home, sir. Are you bloody stupid?
Yep.
Burn it, boys!
Toll, das alles im Burgkreuz, ey. Aber auch nix. Hinweismäßig. Hier auch Schillinge. Nee, ich spare mir meine Kräfte lieber. Ich höre gerade vollkommen in der falschen Gegend rum, glaube ich. Ihre Stadt braucht sie. Jedes Leben durch. Spenden Sie Blut. Na klar. Machen wir da glatt.
I cannot enter.
I cannot enter.
It's locked, all right.
Halt's Maul. Langsam ist es echt zum Verzweifeln nah. Das wäre nicht, dass wir mal hin müssen, wir müssen in die Richtung. Was ist denn das? Ein billiges Schloss. Beiß durch mit deinen Riesenzähnen. Echt? Ach komm, hör doch auf. Jetzt bin ich gerade echt vor dem Rätsel, wo ich hin muss. Zumindest gehen mir gerade die Ideen aus. Zumindest für diesmal, für diesen Part.
It's locked, all right.
Ich hab's verstanden, dass es geschlossen ist. Der hat Angst vor Wasser. Okay. So, jetzt sind wir wieder hier. Am Ausgangsturm, wo wir eigentlich angefangen haben. Zu der Mission rüberzugsgehend.
This is a slaughterhouse.
Wenn Seymour vor seiner geliebten Mutter Stella.
From Seymour to my beloved mother, Stella. What is this doing here? Who are these people? It's locked.
Das war ja klar.
need more, Jack. I can feel your bones these days.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reid. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in? Please don't stay too long, sir. So you have questions about the flu, then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
Hat er nicht ganz unrecht.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Hat's da ohne ganz.
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Notunterkünfte.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no. My Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
I believe you may find this necklace of interest.
What is it? I don't understand.
It's a gift your son was hoping to give you. But I'm afraid it links him to the nearby murders.
You mean this belongs to one of his victims? Jesus. I knew this day would come. Please, Dr. Reid, accept this for your trouble and leave me be.
This day? You mean you already knew? Are you buying my silence? I will not be an accomplice in this.
What? No. No. My son's crimes distress me more than you can imagine. But I'm his mother. I love him, I do.
I'm trying to locate Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where he could be?
you talking about the one everyone calls the sad saint? The man who takes care of the homeless?
The very same, Miss Fishburne.
I'm sorry. I don't know where his shelter is. But if you ask around, I'm sure you'll get your answer.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
I'm not sure the epidemic is what worries people most these days.
So klaust du schon die Omis hier. Meine Güte.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
It's locked.
Best grow eyes in the back of that head, sir.
Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough?
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
You should be careful, Rufus. There are things that lurk in the shadows of this city. Things that prey on the lonely and the desperate.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
Hmm.
Do you know a man who lives in this part of town? A man named Sean Hampton. I'm looking for him.
Sorry, sir. I don't know a lot of folks around here. Most prefer to avoid me.
Well, I don't think you should talk to him. He may be very sick.
Thanks for the tip. You might want to check the Turquoise Turtle. It's a pub not far from here. The barkeep knows everyone in these parts.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Am I really cursed? It would explain so much.
I can feel it coming in my bones. Hatred.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reid. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. It's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
No. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they? Why them? Was there a link?
Why should there be? They just get on my nerves at the worst times, that's all.
You feel nothing, do you? No empathy for your victims at all?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about me.
That right? Well, our calm's the only thing we have in common then.
How many? How many victims?
It's not like I keep records. It happens when it happens.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Stills the anger. For a time.
This rage you feel, have you ever been able to control it? Resist it?
I tried. For my mum, I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel better. For a while.
Don't you think you should seek help? Talk to someone you trust, someone who cares about you.
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight. Especially about my mum.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her. But can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead?
Ich glaube, die Fähigkeit meines Vampirs Avatar steigt langsam.
I don't believe death is the appropriate sentence for murder. Not in a civilized society. But the last word has to remain with the law.
There is no law around here. No justice to be found. In these parts, revenge is the only answer.
Any chance you can help me find Sean Hampton?
The sad saint. Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually, that's confidential.
Really? Well, go ask someone else then. I'm sure Tom Watts will gladly answer you.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Am I really cursed? It would explain so much.
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
I don't believe death is the appropriate sentence for murder. Not in a civilized society. But the last word has to remain with the law.
There is no law around here. No justice to be found. In these parts, revenge is the only answer.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
So.
It's locked.
Gut, jetzt fängt das Spiel wieder an zu hängen. Ich würde mal sagen, es ist auch heute genug. Den Weg haben wir zumindest bis dato schon mal hingefunden. Ich werde auf jeden Fall an der Stelle dann versuchen, da wieder weiterzumachen. Warum das Spiel wieder hängt, keine Ahnung. Sehr oft Probleme mit diesem Spiel. So. Dann würde ich mal sagen, ich bedanke mich auf jeden Fall schon mal recht herzlich fürs Zuschauen bis jetzt und für eure Likes, für eure Kommentare. Wie gesagt, über ein Abo würde mich freuen, wenn ihr die Glocke aktiviert, könnt ihr nichts mehr verpassen, zumindest hier auf YouTube. Ich bin raus, euer Foli von Folis Gamers. Macht's gut, bis dann beim nächsten Let's Play, entweder hier bei VampYr Part 7 oder beim anderen Let's Play von mir. Macht's gut, tschüss, bis dann. Euer Foli.